I've mentioned in an earlier video that our approach to vectors in a physics class is kind of a concepts first approach. And in that sense, we've said really we're looking at vectors as just magnitude and direction. If you look up a more math first approach to vectors, which you can probably find some of that information online or in math textbooks, you see the math first approach, which usually, instead of drawing pictures and talking about magnitude and direction, they'll describe the mathematical properties. Well, at some point, we'd like these two approaches to converge. So again, our understanding is conceptual because that lends itself a little more to understanding problems of a physical nature and how we can use vectors to solve them. But nevertheless, we need to be able to do things with vectors in a mathematical sense. And one of those things is addition of two vectors. So following kind of my concepts or maybe visual approach first, I've got a picture here for the addition of two vectors. So it says here vector A plus vector B can be done by arranging the two vectors head to tail. So we refer to this as head to tail addition of two vectors. So if I look at what that means, and I think I'm going to redraw what I have there on the slide. If I take two vectors, like let's say I'm trying to maybe draw two vectors that are similar to what I have there, but they may not be perfect. And now I say I want to figure out what the sum of these two vectors are. Maybe I'm going to go and label this one's vector A, and maybe this one's vector B. And then just for fun, since I've got some tools here that let me manipulate this in maybe a kind of cool way, I'm going to go ahead and say I can do this. I can move vector B over there to arrange them in a head-to-tail fashion. And what does that really do for me? What's not shown here on the slide very clearly is what is the resultant vector. The resultant vector is going to be this right here. So that actually represents the A plus B vector, or sometimes I've liked to draw it where I say, hey, that's vector C, and then vector C is equal to vector A plus B. And as we continue, we're going to explore a little bit more how we can manipulate vectors based on this concept for vector addition.